Hey everyone, so this video is going to walk you through when you're given a graph and you want to write the equation that represents that polynomial. Okay, so you're going to start by first identifying your y-intercepts and your x-intercepts. And so we know our x-intercepts are those values where the graph crosses the x-axis. So here our x-intercepts are x equals -1 and x equals 6. And your y-intercept is where your graph crosses your y-axis. And I'm going to write this as a point. And so on our y-axis, all of the x values are 0, and the y value is 3. And so I'm going to use this equation to determine to be able to write the equation for this graph. So this is a generic equation, and we're going to figure out what A, B, and C are. So B and C come from your x-intercepts. So think about when we used to solve, and you had maybe like x plus 2 and then x minus 1. And when you went to solve, you set each part equal to 0. And so you got x equals -2 and x equals +1. And what you noticed, or what we talked about, is if this was a +2 here, then this became -2. If this was a -1, then this became a +1. And so the same thing is going to happen here. When I go to substitute in, I really don't know A yet, but I can do B and C. And so B is going to come from one of our factors. So if this is a -1, it will be a +1 here. And if this is a +6, it's going to be a -6. So I just took these and I flipped the signs. And so now the piece that I'm missing is really A. Well, what is A going to be? How do I determine A? And so that's going to come from your y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 0, 3, right? This is a point that falls on this graph, which means I should be able to substitute this point in to find the value of A. And so if your y-intercept, I'll actually use this here, is 0, 3. Well, 0 is your x value, and 3 is your y value, right? And we know y is the same as f of x when it's in function notation. And so our y value here is going to be 3. I don't know a, but I do know that the x value is 0. And so when I go and simplify this, I end up with 1 and -6. And so I end up with 3 equals -6a. And if I'm solving for a, I'm going to divide by -6. So a is really -1/2. So I'm going to go back to my equation here, and I'm going to substitute that a in. So f of x is really going to be a, which is -1/2, times x plus 1 and x minus